Jerusalem, drenched in the blood of the First Crusade, now sat under the iron grip of the Latin Kingdom of Jerusalem. The year was 1099, and Christian knights declared the city theirs by divine right. But peace was nowhere in sight. The Crusaders had erected a new rule, replacing mosques with churches, enforcing Latin Christian law, and excluding Muslims and Jews from entering the city. For nearly 90 years they treated Jerusalem as a fortress, guarded heavily, feared by enemies, and worshipped by pilgrims from the west. But in the east, winds were shifting. A new leader was rising, not just a warrior, but a visionary. Saladin Yusuf ibn Ayyub, known to the world as Saladin. Born in Tikrit in 1137, Saladin was no mere conqueror. He was a devout Muslim, a unifier of divided Islamic factions, and a master of both diplomacy and war. By the 1170s, Saladin had already taken control of Egypt and Syria under the banner of the Ayyubid dynasty. But his eyes were fixed on one sacred goal: Jerusalem. In 1187, after defeating the Crusaders at the Battle of Hattin, Saladin advanced on the Holy City. Unlike the brutality of the First Crusade, Saladin's conquest of Jerusalem was a triumph of honor. He besieged the city, but instead of vengeance, he offered peace. The Crusaders negotiated surrender. And when Jerusalem fell, there were no massacres. Instead, Saladin allowed Christians to leave peacefully and even reopened the city to Jews who had been banned for nearly a century. It was a moment that stunned the world. Even many Christian chroniclers praised Saladin for his mercy, but the Western world was not ready to lose its prized possession. In response to Saladin's victory, Europe launched the Third Crusade, led by legendary figures like Richard the Lionheart of England. For 3 years, battles raged across the Holy Land. Though Richard won several skirmishes, he could not retake Jerusalem. In 1192, Saladin and Richard reached a truce. Jerusalem would remain under Muslim control. Christian pilgrims could visit freely. It was not a victory for either side, but a rare moment of understanding in a war torn by religious rage. After Saladin's death in 1193, Jerusalem once again became the center of shifting power. The Ayyubids, the Mamluks, and later the Ottomans each left their mark, renovating holy sites, preserving sacred relics, and occasionally restricting access based on their politics. For centuries, Jerusalem stood not as a symbol of unity, but as a barometer of global conflict. And yet, despite the endless wars, the city never lost its sacred glow. Pilgrims still journeyed. Prayers still echoed off stone walls. Children still played in alleyways where empires once marched. The tale of Jerusalem was far from over. Beneath the sands of faith and fury, new chapters were waiting to be written. This ends part 4 of the history of Jerusalem. To uncover the next chapter, when the Ottomans take the city and reshape it once again. Subscribe now to Historical Story YT and be the first to witness history unfold.